Hello and welcome to day 3 of our Lea Swimsuit Sew Along. Today we're going to go through finishing off the rest of the suit with the exception of the lace that will be for tomorrow. So to start with, you're going to grab your cut pieces that we worked on yesterday. You should have them gathered and ready to go. And you're going to grab the main front bodice piece. Go ahead and lay it flat. Notice on your bodice that there's 2 triangles. You'll also see 2 triangles on your cut pieces as well. So we're going to go ahead and line those up with the right sides together. So just make sure that edge that you added the elastic to is the inside edge. So that you're going to make sure again that the right sides are together. So we're going to go ahead and line those up and just clip that arrow in place, and then this is going to be aligned with this edge over here. So I like to kind of clip those in place, and then you can adjust your gathers so that it lays nice and flat. So I can see here I need to kind of loosen up my gathers slightly. I'm going to spread them out a little so that I can get it perfect and lined up. I'm just going to clip that in place, and then we're going to do the other one. So again, I'm just going to start at my little arrow, then I'm going to line up my corner, and again here I can see I'm going to need to kind of spread this out a little bit more than what I have. I'm just going to kind of loosen my gathers a little bit until I get it to lay flat. Okay, so now I have it all pinned, and I'm going to take my lining piece now and I'm going to lay it over the top. And again, I'm going to start at the corner, pin that corner, pin this corner, and then I can line up my little arrows. And then just add my other little clips. Everything is all pinned in place, and then we're going to go ahead and sew them together. So for this, again, I'm going to use my regular machine, not my serger, and just use a stretch stitch. Okay, so now that we've attached the lining and the mane to the cups, we're going to attach the elastic. So you're going to take your piece of elastic, and again, if you had done any grading on your pattern pieces, make sure that you base your elastic length off of the correct grading. So like for me, I went from a size 2 up top to a 6 at the bottom. So right here at the top I'm a 2, so I'm going to base my elastic length off of the size 2. So just make sure that you're aware of that and you size accordingly. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the center point of my elastic, and then I'm going to find the center point of my swimsuit, and I'm just doing that by lining up my arrows that I had. I'm going to go ahead and pin that in place, and then I'm going to just sew that on using my regular sewing machine. And again, you're going to stretch it while you sew. Okay, so now that we've added our elastic to the inside of between the lining and the mane, we're going to go ahead and flip it right side out, and we're going to baste these long edges together on the front panel. You're also going to do the same thing with the back panel while you're at it. So you can go ahead and grab out your back panels, and we're going to baste those together with the right sides out. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so now we're going to be attaching the crotch together from the front and back. So I'm going to do this a little bit different than what's in the instructions. So to start with, I'm going to lay my front panel out and kind of line up the edges of my lining together. And then I'm going to take my back panel and I'm going to flip it inside out. And I'm going to slide it over my front panel so that my main fabric is facing each other. Then I'm going to line up my main back with my main front. Then I'm going to take my lining and I'm going to line that up. So now I have my front panel piece and it's kind of sandwiched in between the back. And so when I sew this edge and I open it up, I'm going to have the seam completely enclosed, and it's also, all the pieces are kind of attached together so nothing's sliding around. So go ahead and attach those using a stretch stitch. Okay, so I went ahead and did my stretch stitch along that edge. So now I can flip this right side out. And you can see that I have a fully enclosed seam here, and all my pieces are kind of stuck together so that everything is in the place where it needs to be. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and attach the elastic to the leg openings. So go ahead and cut your elastic and pin it in place and stitch it in. Okay, so now that you've gone ahead and attached the elastic to the lining side, you're going to flip it over so that the elastic is enclosed, and you're going to do a zigzag stitch all the way around the leg opening like that. Okay, so now that you've gone ahead and done your leg openings, we're going to finish the arm side in the exact same way that you did the leg opening. So you're going to take your elastic, attach it to the lining side, and then flip it over. Okay, so the next step is going to be attaching the elastic to the back edge. So for that, you're going to attach it to the lining side. You're going to find the midpoint of your elastic and the midpoint of your back and then pin it. Okay, so now that you've attached the elastic to the back edge, you're going to do the same thing that we've been doing with the other elastic pieces, and you're just going to fold it over, and you're going to do a zigzag stitch right there again. So again, you just fold it over, and then we're going to do a zigzag stitch. The next step is going to be to attach the sides. So you're going to go ahead and lay it with your right sides facing the middle, and you're going to go ahead and pin the sides. And this is probably the one step that I like to use a serger for on this on this swimsuit. I like to use it on the side seam just to make sure I have a nice strong seam. So you can use your stretch stitch if you want on your regular machine, but I'm going to use my serger to do this edge. Okay, so the final step for today is going to be attaching the straps. So we're going to go ahead and attach them, and then you're going to want to try on the swimsuit, and you can mess with them a little bit if you need to, because not everyone's going to fit exactly the way that the pattern is made. So I know I need to tighten mine, so I go ahead and attach mine about an inch over. So and then I'll probably still have to adjust them, but you're going to line them up with the marks that were on your pattern piece edge, and you're going to go ahead and sew those on. Okay, so you can see here that I have pinned them all in place, and I'm going to go ahead and baste them, and then I'll try it on, and I might adjust them as needed. But that is the last step for today.